I tried an experiment that sounds impossible in 2026. For one full day, I kept my phone on silent, and I refused to take it out of my pocket unless it was an emergency. If I needed info, messages, directions, a camera, or a screen, it had to happen through smart glasses. What shocked me wasn't that it worked, it's how fast my brain stopped reaching for the phone. Because when the first interface is already on your face, your phone stops being the thing you use and turns into the computer you carry. Here's how that day went, and the 6 pairs of 2025-2026 glasses that made it possible. Morning. My usual first move is grabbing the phone for weather, calendar, messages, and accidentally donating 20 minutes to the feed. So I started with RayBan Meta Gen 2. Normal-looking frames but with open-ear speakers, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and Meta AI. They claim up to about 8 hours of moderate use, and the case can add up to 48 hours of charging. Instead of scrolling, I asked out loud for what I needed. Quick reminder, quick answer, then coffee. No thumb trap. The first, okay, this is real moment hit outside. I always pull out the phone for tiny moments, sunrise, street art, something funny. With these, I didn't even slow down. Take a photo, start recording. Hands stayed free. And here's the cheat code. You can start a session and Meta AI can automatically grab clips and build a compilation. It feels like having a tiny cameraman who never asks you to do it again. On the commute, the phone usually comes out for 3 things: replying, music, and what did they just say in that message? RayBan Meta Gen 2 doesn't give you a screen, but it kills the friction. Open-ear audio keeps you aware of your surroundings, and you can handle quick calls without doing the pocket dance for your phone. But this is still phone replacement level 1. It replaces the camera reach, some calls, and quick questions. It doesn't replace the part where your phone becomes a screen you stare into. So mid-morning, I switched categories entirely. Pair 2 is the one people underestimate because it looks boring until you use it. INMO Go smart glasses. It's a single-lens display that puts text on the right side, so you're not looking down at a phone. They pitch it as real-time translation, an invisible teleprompter, and an on-lens AI assistant powered by ChatGPT. Their listing says translation supports 12 languages. Teleprompter mode is simple. Load your notes in the app, and the words show up in your view. And the AI assistant? Tap the touchpad, and answers appear on the lens. This is where my phone stayed buried. I had to explain something, and instead of pulling out notes like a nervous student, the lines were just there. Eye contact, confidence. No, sorry, let me check. And the translation angle is honestly underrated. If you've ever tried to translate a conversation on a phone, you know the vibe. You're basically holding a barrier between you and the person. With a lens display, you can keep the conversation human. They list 52 grams and claim around 7 hours of continuous use from a 220 milliamp battery. That matters because a phone replacement you can't wear isn't a replacement. Now, this kind of HUD is awesome for quick text, but when it comes to real productivity, your phone still loses because the screen is tiny. So pair 3 was the moment the experiment stopped being cute. XREAL 1 Pro. XR display glasses with their X1 chip and native 3DOF tracking built into the glasses. No extra app to keep the screen stable. Just plug into a USB-C device that supports DisplayPort output. They claim a best-in-class 57-degree field of view. They describe it like watching a 171-inch screen from about 4 meters away, and they pair that with a smooth 120 Hz refresh rate. This is where overpriced tablets starts making sense. Also, little detail that matters for comfort. They sell 2 IPD size ranges, and they redesigned the fit with adjustable arms and multiple nose pads. If a pair hurts your face, you won't use it. Simple. I opened my laptop and instantly stopped hunching. A massive screen floated in front of me. Email, docs, research, without turning my desk into a cable jungle. This is the point where your phone turns into a pocket computer. It's still there, it's still powering things, but you're not staring at it. And if you want the next step, XREAL talks about pairing an optional add-on called XREAL Eye for 6DOF spatial anchoring, where the screen locks to a spot in your room instead of moving with your head. 3DOF means it stays stable as you rotate your head. 6DOF means it stays stable in space as you move around the room. That's the difference between floating screen and screen lives here. Pair 4 is where XR starts feeling like spatial computing, not just a floating TV. Viture Luma Ultra. They claim Sony's latest micro OLED panels, 1500 nits peak brightness, 120 Hz, and a 52-degree field of view. They also say those panels cut power consumption, which is sneaky important because it means less drain on the device you're plugged into, your phone or their neckband. But the headline is the camera stack. a front RGB camera plus dual depth cameras. That's how they're pushing zero-drift 6DOF tracking and hand gesture support. Important detail, the hand gesture control is when paired with their Viture neckband, and they talk about 6DOF support through their Spacewalker software on computers. But the experience is the point. Your phone screen becomes an object in space. Put it where you want, leave it there, look away, look back, and it's still there. And yes, they even claim a real-time 2D to 3D feature. Maybe you try it once and laugh, maybe it becomes your guilty pleasure. Either way, it's a reminder that this category is moving fast. At this point, I realized there are two different phone replacements happening. Camera plus voice AI glasses replace the phone as a tool you pull out. XR display glasses replace the phone as the screen you stare at. So Pair 5 is the stay-in-motion version. Oakley Meta HSTN. These are built for sports and outdoors, but they still do the core stuff: capture, calls, music, and Meta AI. They claim up to 8 hours of typical use, with a charging case adding up to 48 hours of charging. Open-ear audio keeps you aware of your surroundings, and you can handle quick calls without doing the pocket dance for your phone. But this is still phone replacement level 1. It replaces the camera reach, some calls, and quick questions. It doesn't replace the part where your phone becomes a screen you stare at. So mid-evening, I swaved the biggest screen for last. Rokid Max 2. They claim a 215-inch virtual screen at a 6-meter distance, 50-degree field of view, 120 Hz refresh, adjustable brightness up to 600 nits, and the practical feature I love, a built-in myopia adjustment dial, up to 600 diopters. If you're nearsighted, you can fine-tune without immediately running for prescription inserts. They note the dial doesn't handle astigmatism, but still, this is the kind of feature that actually affects daily use. These don't need internal charging. They're powered over USB-C from a compatible device. So your phone, laptop, or handheld becomes the brains, and the glasses become the display. That's the iPad killer feeling, because once you have a massive screen floating in front of you, your phone stops being entertainment. It's just the source. By the end of the day, I finally pulled my phone out. Not because I needed it, because my brain forgot the rule. Smart glasses didn't replace my phone like delete your phone forever. They replaced the habit of reaching for it. They made the phone disappear into the background. So here's the real question. Which version of phone replacement do you want? If you want normal-looking frames that handle camera, calls, music, and AI, RayBan Meta Gen 2 is the lifestyle pick, and Oakley Meta HSTN is the performance pick. If you want text in your vision, translation, prompts, quick answers without looking down, INMO Go smart glasses is the sneaky superpower. If you want the kind of screen that makes phones and tablets feel cramped, XREAL 1 Pro, Viture Luma Ultra, and Rokid Max 2 are the pairs that change your posture and your focus. Links are down below. Now tell me, if you could only pick one superpower, would you choose AI on your face or a massive screen in the air?